Thank you so much for joining me today on our topic of the law of attraction. And as you can see on this graphic here, it can mean so many things to so many different people. It can mean intention, manifestation, abundance, awareness, consciousness, so many different things. And always remember, your focus determines your reality. And another phrase that I love is what you project, you collect. So, and again, I love that first line too. Always remember your focus determines your reality. So having laser focus, knowing what you want, going after it is so key in achieving what you want, and is really a lot about the law of attraction. I also love this quote: life is an echo. What you send out comes back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. And what you see in others exists in you. And a lot of people worry, and we see this a lot, unfortunately. And worry is the concern of what's going to happen in the future. 90% of what we worry about never happens, and the other 10% we have no control over. It's a mind game that revolves around the question, what if? And the absolute worst thing a receiver can do is worry about not catching the ball or getting hit, said Jerry Rice, who's the former San Francisco 49er. And Jerry knows that what you focus on, again, becomes your reality. So worry is, it's very difficult to say, don't worry, be happy. But worry doesn't serve you, and it doesn't serve your purpose. And I found this too, and I love it. Health is not just about what you're eating. It's also about what you're thinking and saying. And this is so true. I mean, you can have toxic thoughts, and your words and the way you say them, and they have power and meaning. Saying something like, I hate this, or I can't do this, I don't like this, those types of negative connotations and negative thoughts really can hurt where you are going. And I found this, and I thought it was really interesting. So how thoughts become things. And first, it's circumstances. Circumstances can determine what you think. And secondly, it's your thoughts. But it's what you think about those circumstances that determines how you feel. And the third, we have feelings. Feelings determine your actions, your behaviors. And then we have your actions, and your actions will determine your outcomes. And your outcomes, if you don't like your outcomes, then go back to number 2, which is your thoughts. And then finally, good thoughts equals good outcomes. So thoughts become things. So only think about what you do want. So what are the things that you do want? Let's not think about the negative things, but what are the positive things? Visualization is so powerful of what you foresee things to be, for it to happen. The law of attraction. In the New Thought philosophy, the law of attraction is the belief that by focusing on positive or negative thoughts, a person brings positive or negative experiences into their life. So simply put, the law of attraction is the ability to attract into our lives whatever we are focusing on. It is the law of attraction which uses the power of the mind to translate whatever is in our thoughts and materialize them into reality. In basic terms, all thoughts turn into things eventually. So first, we have to get clear on what you want. If you don't know exactly what you want, you can't actually take steps to make it happen. So to manifest something, you must know what you desire. That means you must get very clear on the specifics. So detailing the features as if your manifestation is tailor-made for you. And to get started with this step, you need to create a list of like 20 to 25 things you want to manifest. Get specific about what you want and list the attributes and the positive. So again, I avoid using the word don't. I want a car. Might land you a 1965 El Camino without a working engine. I want a used SUV with less than 30,000 miles on it that's priced under $15,000. That is going to streamline your search quite a bit, right? So we want to be specific. And side note, as you create your list, give yourself permission to want what you want today and be open to changing it tomorrow. Judgment of yourself doesn't help you manifest anything. And then step 2 is asking the universe. Once you have your list, it's time to amplify your signal to the universe by asking for what you want. When the universe is clear on what you want to manifest, then it can help you. If you don't ask, it will still try to help you, but it guesses as to what you truly desire. Don't leave what you receive up to chance. Ask for what you want. There are a lots of ways to ask, including prayer, meditation, visualization, and vision boards. An easy way to ask for what you want is to write a letter to the universe. Ask the universe for what you want once a day makes your requests clearer and clearer. Now, step 3 is work towards your goal. Manifesting is the art of co-creating with the universe. Working toward your goals increases your chance of receiving what you want. It's also fun. Write down 3 actions you can do today to bring you closer to your goal. If you don't know what to do, again, use Google to figure out what actions you can take. It's likely someone has struggled with the same issue and has written about it. Let yourself be inspired by what others have done. Start taking action and keep taking action until you've reached your goal. Trust the process. As you work toward your goal, it may question if manifesting actually works. You might get discouraged and frustrated. If you're sitting in the struggle and wondering when things are going to happen, you aren't trusting the process. When you question manifestation, you're telling the universe to prove manifesting doesn't work. The law of attraction obliges by sending you experiences that keep you stuck. To manifest, you have to trust the process. Whenever you find yourself doubting, catch yourself and say, I'm getting closer and closer to my goals every day. The universe has my back and it's awesome. Repeat this phrase until you believe it. Step 5, receive and acknowledge what you get. The universe is always giving you help, but it's easy to miss the signs, especially when they come in unexpected ways. When you start to acknowledge and receive signs from the universe will give you more of what you want. A good way to get started with this step is to write down the evidence in a journal at the end of the day. Make sure to include anything that happened to you during the day that moved you a little bit closer to your goal. If you're trying to get out of debt and your credit card company calls to sort out a more appropriate payment plan, that's evidence. It could also be an inspirational quote speaking to you on Facebook. It could be anything. Step 6, keep your vibration high. According to the law of attraction, you attract what you are sending out. To attract more of what you want, you have to raise your vibration. Vibrations are like little radio signals you are continuously sending out to the universe. You must tune your signal to a vibration worthy of receiving it. Read, stay positive and thankful. All you have to do is to feel joy. By spending 10 to 15 minutes a day at least, doing something that makes you feel good, anything from watching a YouTube video or meditating, you're ensuring your vibration stays high. Remember, a crappy mood means you're going to be rewarded with crap. Staying positive is the easiest way to be certain good things are coming. Step 7, clear your resistance. If you haven't yet manifested what you want, it's likely you're resisting what the universe has to offer. Doubts, pain, procrastination, frustrations, anxiety, fears, regrets, and resentments are all forms of resistance. And of course, they are totally normal. We all get caught up in it. When you notice conflict coming, though, acknowledge it and remind yourself to breathe and relax. It might sound something like, I'm frustrated again. I'm resisting again. I get it. All I have to do now is breathe, relax, and let it come. If you're having a hard time letting go of the problem, find someone to help you through it. It's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. It's actually a sign of strength. Now, I have a video here from Tony Robbins, who's definitely one of my favorite people in the world and just an amazing individual with so much insight. And he has a module on the law of attraction. It's about 10 minutes long, so enjoy, and you definitely probably want to take some notes. Oh, sorry.
It has to be a compelling vision. It's got to have something that has the power to pull you, not something you have to push yourself to do. Those are two different kinds of motivation. Push requires willpower, and willpower never lasts. What will last is pull. Having something so exciting, so attractive, something you desire so much that you have a hard time going to sleep at night. You get so up early in the morning to a rocket and take it to the next level. That's what you're looking to create. That is easy to get. But one of the reasons we do seminars and events, we say, why do that? Why not just read a book or something? Is because when you get in an environment where you're with people that are being put in a peak state, like when you're going to a sporting event, if you watch a sporting event at home, it might have a certain level of excitement. But when you're in a stadium with 50,000 people, suddenly it has a whole different level of intensity. And we feel that. And the bottom line of our follow-through comes down to our emotional intensity. In a different state of mind, you're going to come up with a much better and more exciting vision than if you're sitting on the couch going, okay, what are my new resolutions for this year? And you're doing it the morning after the year has started, and you're a little inebriated, and the football game's on in the background. Probably not going to have the power of focus there. Probably not going to have the power of the energy to create something that's going to pull you for this year. And you got to do that. So it's got to be a vision that's compelling. Something that you know it's going to be a gift to make sure that it happens. And also, along with that compelling vision, you got to have strong enough reasons that you're going to follow through when the going gets tough. That's one of the biggest things missing for most people. They say, this is what I want to do. It's not very exciting. It's not very compelling. But most importantly, they don't have strong enough reason to push themselves through what's going to be necessary to get that dream, to get that goal when the inevitable challenges come up. When you're starving, hungry, and you're trying to go on a diet, right? When you got no time and you're stressed out and you haven't worked out still, and that's what you're supposed to do. When the economy gets tight and what you thought you're going to do doesn't work, and so you give up on the goal instead of finding another way to get there. You don't let the fear take you over if you've got strong enough reasons. Those reasons can be positive, or those reasons can also be negative. They can be, if I don't do this, this is going to cost me. And if I do this, this is what I'm going to gain in my life. Reasons come first, answers come second. If you get a compelling vision and you got strong enough reasons that will push you through the tough times, you're going to do things other people don't do. Instead of collapsing, even if you get off target, you won't go, oh, I blew it. You'll get right back on target, make the change, make things happen. And I know you've done this in many areas of your life. Just think about it again. I'm not teaching you something really new here today. I just want to remind you of what your soul knows. You got to change, you got to improve, and you got to go through a simple process fundamentally to make that progress. First step, vision that's compelling. Second step, make sure that there's strong enough reasons to follow through. Third step, you got to review it and feel it every day. I mean, anything. Have you ever had this happen in your life? Has there been anything in your life that you've ever wanted so badly? You were so desirous of it. You had such a hunger for it that you couldn't stop thinking about it. Could have been a career move. Could have been when you were a kid, a car. It could have been a relationship. It could have been anything, but you were obsessed. You wanted to make this happen. You wanted to attract this to your life. You just wanted something. And you didn't even know how to get it. But it was so compelling to you. You kept thinking about it every day, envisioning it, imagining it, feeling it. And then stuff happened. And suddenly you started to attract people or situations to your life, and it just came together. Like, you didn't even have a total plan. It was just that it was so a part of your focus with so much intensity and emotion so often that it sensitized you to notice anything that could get you there. There's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system. For short, we call it the RAS. That part of your brain determines what you notice in the world. And it's really important because when you set a goal, when you get really clear on a vision, there's strong enough reasons, and you review it enough, and it becomes a part of you, that part of your brain says, anything that relates to this, I need to notice. It's like, did you ever buy a certain kind of car or maybe a certain outfit, and suddenly you see that car everywhere, or those outfits everywhere? You know, the cars were always around, but why do you see it now? Because your RAS knows this is important. This is part of my world now. Similarly, when you really get clear and it's compelling and you're reviewing it every day, you've got strong reasons, you're reviewing it every day and you're feeling it, the brain becomes incredibly acute at noticing anything to get you to move forward. And so that's the power of this. So, what do people do with a New Year's resolution? They come up with something they kind of want. It's not a compelling vision. They don't really have strong enough reasons, and they never review it again until they notice that they broke what they said they really want to make happen, because they didn't really resolve. If you resolve, you got the vision, it's compelling, you review it daily, and you feel it, you envision it, and you experience it. Simple as it sounds. Now, ultimately, what is this really about? ultimately, if you're going to have lasting change in anything, you're really talking about just raising your standards. I mean, I always tell people, if you want to know how to change your life, I give it to you in 3 words, boring as it sounds: raise your standards. And what does that mean? Corny as it sounds. Raise your standards. So thank you for the breakthrough thought, Tony. I'm glad I wasted my time watching this little email with you. But think about it. Lasting change is different than a goal. You don't always get your goals, but you always get your standards. Maybe it would help you is to think about it this way. I try to explain standards to people with a different set of words. Think of it as everybody in life gets their musts. They don't get their shoulds. Right? Think about it. Most people have a list of shoulds, don't they? Don't you have a list of the shoulds, things you should do, you should follow through on? I should lose some weight, I should work out more, I should make more calls, I should respond more rapidly to my emails, whatever, you know? I should get into the office earlier, I should be, more confident. Whatever your should list is, people love to have their should list be met, but it's kind of like New Year's resolutions. If it does, it's really exciting, but if it doesn't, which is most of the time, it's a little disappointing, but you kind of know it's not going to happen. But when you decide something is a must for you, an absolute must, when you cut off any possible, you say, I'm going to find the way, or I'm going to make the way. Human beings, when they resolve things, when they make a real resolution inside themselves, which is they raise the standard, they make it a must, they find the way. Think about it in your own life. Haven't you had some area of your life where you raised your standard and your life has never been the same? Maybe at one time in your life you smoked cigarettes, or you did something and you did it for years and you kept trying to change it, and kept telling yourself I should. And then one day something happened. Something just clicked you over. Something took you over that kind of tipping point. And inside yourself you said, no more. It was a very, very different experience, wasn't it? Something inside of you shifted. And what was a should became a must, and you've never gone back. Is there an area like that in your life you can think of? Again, did you ever smoke cigarettes? Did you ever eat a certain way, drink a certain form of alcohol, and then finally say no more, and you just don't go back? And notice this, it doesn't really take any willpower anymore. Because somewhere when we make this click, when we make something a must, we attach ourselves to it. It becomes part of our identity. And one thing I've learned in the last, 33 years of working with people from now over 100 countries, 4 million people, is human beings absolutely follow through on who they believe they are. If you said to me, well, I'm really going to work hard to stop smoking, but, I've been a smoker my whole life, and I am a smoker. I know your days are numbered. You're going to be back smoking cigarettes again, because we all act consistent with who we believe we are. I tell people the strongest force in the whole human personality is this need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. If you define yourself as somebody who is really conservative, you're not going to be crazy and act nuts unless you're really drunk or something, and then you can say it's the alcohol, when it's really just you finally getting permission to be yourself. The alcohol is your excuse. If you're a really crazy person, you act crazy, outrageous, playful. You don't act conservative because it's not who you are. Very often people say, well, I can't do that. I'm not that kind of person. And I always say to people, really, when did you define yourself? I mean, really, how many years ago did you come up with what you could and couldn't do in your life? How many years ago? Most people, if they really look at how they're living their life today, it's based on a set of standards, a set of beliefs that they made choices about 10, 20, 30 or more years ago. I mean, very often we made decisions in our youth or very young about what to believe, about what we were capable of, about who we are as a person, and that becomes the glass ceiling, if you will, that controls us. There's a corny metaphor, but it's true. I remember one time I was with my family at the circus, and there was a person there, and they had this big, giant elephant. And you look at this elephant, and they take this little rope, put it around the elephant's neck, and they drive this stake into the ground. And I mean, you look at this, and you know that elephant could rip down the entire tent with almost no effort. And yet, the elephant doesn't struggle, doesn't try. Why? Because the elephant's conditioned. And they take that elephant and condition the elephant when it's a baby elephant. That's how they train him. When it's a little baby elephant and it doesn't have the power yet, they put a big rope around it and they drive this huge stake in the ground, and the elephant fights and fights and fights. And one day, finally, that elephant decides, I'm not capable of pulling this out. And once that becomes the definition of an identity of anyone, an elephant in this case, they don't even try anymore. It's just who I am, that's how it is, that's just the way it is in my life. I'd like to ask you to take a look at any place you've got a limitation and ask yourself, when did I decide to accept that limitation? And you may not even see it as a limitation. You might see it as just that's who I am. But so often in our lives, we've adapted to be be a certain way so that we don't fail or so that people will like us or respect us, but it's not necessarily who we are. Joy comes when you're spontaneous. It's really hard to be truly happy when you're not being yourself. And most of us have no clue who we are. And so a big part of my work, if you've ever been to an event, you know, is to get people to do things spontaneously without thinking, because that's when the real you shows up. That's when the energy comes alive. And when you do that, when you start to connect to your true nature, suddenly there's energy available for you to set a higher standard for what you want in your life. That's what this is really all about. And when I talk about standards, when I talk about, you know, shoulds versus musts, think about your own life. I know there have been areas in your life where some point in time you just shifted and you raised the standard and your life changed. Because whatever people have their identity attached to, they live. We live who we believe we are. That's just how it works. It's just kind of like, I'll give you an example. Look at your physical body. Your physical body today is an absolute reflection of only one thing. Not your goals, not your desires, but your standards. The identity you have for yourself. If your standard is you're an athlete, then there's a certain amount of strength, a muscle tone, and energy that's available in your body on a regular basis because that's who you are. And so you do whatever's necessary to maintain that identity. Again, the strongest force in the human personality is this need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. Because if you don't know who you are, you wouldn't know how to act. Once you lock in on that identity, your brain finds a way to keep you there. If you say, you know, man, I'm overweight, I've always been overweight, I'm big boned, and that's the story you got, then you're going to always find a way to get back there. That's your settling point. That's your identity. That's where things lock in. If you see somebody who's in really great shape, you ask them, do you work out? You know the answer. Yes. How often? And they'll tell you 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a week, whatever. In a seminar, I'll ask people, who here works out at least 5 days a week? Stand up. And you look around that room, and you know that they work out 5 times a week because you can see their body. You don't just get a result without some kind of action, without some form of ritual. Ritual meaning actions you do consistently. Now, do you think those people that are out there working out 5 days a week, do they have more time than you do? Or I have, or anybody else? Of course not. Is their life less busy? Of course not. It's just a must for them. They must work out that way, and they've made that turn and their life changed. So I'm not saying you have to work out 5 days a week. I'm just saying whatever you really want, wants don't get met consistently. Standards do. Whatever you identify, this is who I am. And so it's not so much about changing your identity as there's expanding it. You know, deciding that, you know, instead of your goal is to lose 10 pounds, which is not compelling, what if your vision was to get back to my fighting weight? You know, this year, this month, this next 90 days, I'm going to transform my body. I'm going to take on a new challenge. I'm going to find some technique or strategy. There's a million of them that can reframe myself where I'm going to feel younger, stronger, more vibrant than ever before. Here's my reasons, because I want the energy to really make my life work, because it's tough out there, and I want to be stronger than I've ever been before. I want to go in front of the mirror, and if I'm naked, not, you know, want to laugh. I want to look there and take a good look and go, yeah. Basics that if you start to shift it, everything else will shift in your life as well. Some people, by the way, have to have more than enough money to do what they want, when they want, where they want, with whomever they want, contribute the way they want. If that's their must, they find a way. I know that sounds overly simplistic, but it's true. You know, somebody once said you can take all the money in the world out of the hands of everybody, out of all the wealthy people in the world who are really successful, give it to other people. It wouldn't take too long. Those people would have it back in their hands. Not because they're manipulative, it's because they have a standard. Some are manipulative, don't get me wrong, but they got a standard of what they're going to find a way to make happen. I'm just simply saying to you, take those 3 magic words and live them. Raise your standard. And if you really want to do it, then I'll tell you the most important secret. Have you ever done this? Have you ever told yourself you're raising your standard? Okay, I'm going to go make this happen. I'm going to go make this much money. I'm going to transform my kids. I'm going to create the ultimate relationship in my life. I'm going to transform my body, whatever it is. And then you don't have strong enough reasons and you don't use it. You don't follow through. It's because you didn't back up your standards with what makes those standards real, and that's rituals. Rituals are where the power is. Whenever we do our Robbins results coaching, and we say Robbins equals results, the way we get results with people, it's the same way if you listen to my Ultimate Edge program, or back in the old days, Personal Power, or if you went to one of my seminars, you know what I do is I take these huge challenges you got and we break them down into little bite-sized steps. Little things you do each day that after you do them, you get so much momentum that it's easy to succeed. You're not overwhelmed. You have these victory day after day after day on little things. If you went to Ultimate Edge, I'm sure you learned about the hour of power, or the 15 minutes to be able to be fulfilled, or 30 minutes to thrive, where you literally just condition your body and emotion with a couple little rituals. So it doesn't matter what's going on in your world. You feel that strength, and it's not fake. It's not some pump up. It's coming from inside you, and it works. Rituals define us. See, all the results in your life are coming from your rituals. They start with a standard and then have rituals that follow it up. Like, for example, if you are where you want to be physically, you have very different rituals than if you're not where you want to be physically. If you're overweight, you and I both know you got a different ritual than if you're physically fit. Completely different. You get up in the morning, what's the first thing you do if you're fit? Your shoes are there, you roll over. Doesn't matter how you feel, you put on your shoes, you lace them, you start walking, or whatever that ritual is. If you're overweight, you roll over and you have a very different ritual. You might roll over several times to turn the alarm clock off. You go in and get your mocha, whatever, special coffee. You stop by at Starbucks, whatever the case may be. You have your nice sugar muffin. It's supposed to be really nice for you. Whatever you do, it's a different ritual. If you have a great, passionate relationship, you have very different rituals in how you come home than if you have a lousy relationship. You come home and the first thing you do is you're tweeting somebody, or you're emailing, or flipping on the news, or you don't even come home. And what are the rituals? Whenever I study people that are successful, what I look for is what's the standard they hold themselves to? And then what are all those little rituals that add up? Because think about it. Success and failure are not giant events. They don't just show up. You don't just suddenly become successful or suddenly have this cataclysmic event that makes you fail. It may look that way. But failure comes from all the little things. It's failure to make the call. It's failure to check the books. It's failure to say, I'm sorry. It's failure to push yourself to do things physically that you don't want to do. And all those little failures day after day come together until one day some cataclysmic event happens and you blame that. That event happened because you missed all the little stuff. Do you agree with me? And success, by the way, is not some overnight event. It's all these little things. Success is having a vision. Success is making it compelling. Success is really seeing it, feeling it every day with strong enough reasons. Success is feeling the sense that I'm here to grow and I'm here to give something to the world more than just myself. Success is caring about other people. Success is calling and saying, I love you in the middle of the day for no damn reason. Or sending a note. That'll change your relationship. Have a ritual of something funny, playful, or a surprise you do. How many relationships are dead today because they have no surprise rituals anymore? You need to have some rituals, some cool things you do that nobody else does that gives you a better life than anybody else has. All the little stuff. That's where success comes from. In business, it comes from delivering more than anybody could imagine. All those little things add up. People go, wow, that's who I want to do business with. It's true in any area of your life. So if you look at somebody who's really successful and you think, wow, I mean, they're so amazing, they're such a genius, you got to dig underneath, you got to remember something. People are rewarded in public for what they've practiced for years in private. Myself and my business people say, how do you get up and speak? And you have no notes and you go for 3 days and nights and the room is like, everything's wired and it's incredible. It's like a rock concert. How do you do that? How do you get that confidence? And it's not confidence, it's experience now. But I did so much behind the scenes that I still do to make things right. I mean, how many people would know that since the time I was 17 years old, before I walk on stage, still do to this day, wouldn't need to do it, but I still do it, I never walk out there without being in an absolute peak state of mind. There are days my back is hurting, my throat is hurting, or I may have had a challenge, or my father passed away, and I've still got to deliver for these people because my standard is give my all every time. Every event has to be better. Talk to anybody who's been to our events for 5, 10 years, some of our trainers, I don't know how he does it. He always finds a way to make it better. That's not an ego thing. That's a standard in me. I have to find the way. And my ritual, though, is I prepare, I think, I gather new information, I figure out how to put something across better. What do people need? I spend time with our customers. I see what's going on. And before I get on stage each time, I have this little ritual to put myself in a state of mind. And I did it starting like 17 years old. I started doing it. I say, I now command my subconscious mind. And I say this out loud several times, this little phrase, set of phrases, as an incantation to kind of condition my mind and body. And I'd say, I now command my subconscious mind to direct me in helping as many people as possible today by giving me the strength and the emotion and the humor and the brevity, whatever it takes to show this person and help this person change their life now. And I started that with a person when I worked with people one-on-one, and I would do that for 45 minutes driving in my Volkswagen to go serve and coach somebody for the first time. Now I don't say that person, I say these people, and I can go out in the room of 10,000 people and deliver for 50 hours, and I do it every time I come back on stage. It's a ritual to go into peak state. Peak states don't just show up, they don't interrupt you. Great ideas don't interrupt you, you gotta pursue them. I talked to Michael Jordan, I'll never forget, at the peak of his career, and got to watch his final game, saw him backstage and spent some time with him, and it was a pretty exciting time. He was the greatest basketball player I think that ever lived, and has ever lived. And I asked him, I said, what sets you apart, Michael? What is it? And is it God-given talent, ability, skill? What is it? And he said, Tony, he said, I can shoot you straight. It's not, me trying to act humble. He goes, I have a lot of talent, a lot of God-given talent, a lot of skill. I've worked really hard. But he said, really, it's my standards. He said, every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could humanly expect. I'm not competing with somebody else. I'm competing with what I'm capable of. Magic formula. Because most of us lower our standards. Why? Because who you spend time with, my friends, is who you become. One of the biggest reasons I started going to seminars when I was like 17 is I had nobody around me as a great role model. I could read about somebody, but being around people, being in that environment was very different. Finding a way to go to work with someone who lived that standard of life was very different. You get around people with low standards and you compete with it. You don't need to compete with it. It's like, okay. Remember Jerry Springer? I don't know if he's still in the air, but I remember he used to get people on the show, and I thought, where would he find these people? And why would people watch? I'll tell you why they watch. They watch these people and go, my life's so pretty darn good compared to that person. Look at them. You don't have to change your life. All you have to do is find somebody with a lower standard. You'll feel good about yourself. But if you feel that good feeling, it's an illusion. The only thing that's going to make you happy in milliseconds, hundredth of a second, he pushed himself just beyond his competitor. But you know about Michael Phelps? What allowed him to be able to push beyond that moment is his rituals. Go study the guy. Most people who swim have these unbelievable workouts. He does 2 and 3 of those workout sessions a day. All the other swimmers in the beginning thought he was insane. You can overtrain, you can't do that, it's not physically possible. But he had a standard and the rituals to back it up. So here's my final message to you, because I've gotten carried away. I thought I was going to send you like a 5-minute message, but as you can see, there's no script here. It's just me going a little crazy with you. But I want to really see you get what you want this year. Don't let this year be like last. And if last year was great, still don't let it be that way. Raise the standard. If your life is perfect and extraordinary, you darn well know you're not going to be happy unless you keep making it better. That's what makes us feel alive. It's not what we get that makes us happy. It's who we become and what we're able to give because we become more. That sense of contribution is what creates the deepest meaning. So here's my assignment for if you want one. If you want to go from conversation to some action, here's a simple thing to do. What's an area of your life right now that you really want to improve? What's an area that's important to improve? If your body's great, how about your career? Career's great, how about your relationships? Intimate one especially, or your kids, or your relationship with your creator, your spiritual side of your life. Or is it your finances? Figure an area that really matters. Decide on that area. Number 1. Write down what your life is like in that area right now as specifically as possible. So you might say, well, I'm 13.5 pounds overweight, whatever the weight is, whatever the situation is, or my body fat's like this, or I wake up exhausted in the morning, and you write the truth of where you are right now. So you're real clear. Or I'm not in a relationship. I say I want a relationship, but I'm not in one. I don't seem to find them. All the good ones seem to be gone, is my belief. And I really do want one, but I don't have it. Whatever your definition. I'm in a relationship, and God, I wish I wasn't in a relationship. I'm planning my escape. Wherever you are. Or I have a wonderful relationship. We love each other, but there just isn't enough passion. Just write the truth of where you are. The area you want to change, but write how it is. And then the second step is, this is where you got to be really honest with yourself. What are the rituals that have put me there? Because whatever results you're getting, even if you don't like the results, there's some rituals that are keeping you in that place. There's some rituals of what you eat or don't eat, how you move or don't move, how you sleep or don't sleep. There's some rituals in the lack of variety or spice or energy or focus in an area. There's something you're doing, and it's usually not one thing, it's a bunch of little things that you kind of do consistently. Whenever you think about getting in a relationship, whenever you think about working out, whenever you think about money, you get yourself in a state of overwhelm. You start thinking about all the things you can't control. Just write down all the rituals you have, and then here's the third step. What do you want? What's your vision? And be really specific. I want to be my fighting weight. I want to be the strongest I've ever felt. I'm going to turn whatever it is, be specific. And then, last step, number 4, what are the rituals that will get you there? What would you need to do differently each morning if you're going to be that kind of energy, that kind of strength? How often would you work out? What days would you work out? What time? A ritual is something you do consistently, usually at a specific time, so it becomes automatic.
Well, I hope you got some great insight there. It's I took a bunch of notes, and I've seen it twice now, and it's such a fantastic um, thought process, and to move forward towards the next year. And he really got us thinking about what we need to do. The mindset for success is mindset plus skill set equals results. So when you think of yourself to yourself, I'm ready to take my Nature Sunshine business to the next level, what thoughts come to your mind? Only you know this. So what are your thoughts? Our own thoughts can be debilitating, but only if we let them. Make the decision today to keep your thoughts in check by changing your mental movie. It's time to retrain your brain to play what you want it to play. Consider, what have others said to you about building a business? Are they positive or negative? What are you attracting? And like he said, who you become who you surround yourself with. So make sure that you have powerful mentors around you, and if not, reach out and find some people. Many people may give you well-meaning advice. They may even say, I want to tell you something for your own good. Whenever those words come out, immediately put on a filter. Bring everything in. Even let it stay with you for a few days to stew, but then become a filter. Let go of unwanted advice and only keep words of wisdom that you feel will help keep you on your journey. What words of advice or comments from yourself or others do you need to let go of so that you can move forward? And again, only you know that. So what are some words? So just think about that. You've probably seen a graphic like this on the internet where the comfort zone and then, where the magic happens is always outside of that, right? For example, limiting belief reframed success statements. So these are really cool. I'm not smart enough to grow a business versus I have access to everything I need to grow my business. If I make too much money, I'll become a bad person versus as I build my income, I'm able to provide for my family, save for the future, and use my resources to help others in need. I don't know very many people. I'd never be able to build a very big team versus I make friends quickly and easily. The right people are put in my path to be part of a thriving team. If I work on my business, I can't be a good mom or dad versus I own my day and create routines so I can grow a thriving business without sacrificing my family. So again, it's all about your statements and how you frame them. Ask yourself the following questions. Do you want abundant health and natural solutions to be readily available to you and your family? Do you want to help family and friends experience quality health products and find alternative ways to support their families, both in product and financial resources? Do you want to build a strong, sustainable income to be able to bless your family, but also find ways to give back to humanitarian projects with both time and money? You have to find out what your passion is and what you want to focus on. These, again, are only questions you can answer for yourself. And again, what does success look like to you? Now that you've spent some time discovering why you want to build a Nature Sign business or achieve personal goals, what tools are you going to use to set motivating, fulfilling goals? Remember, your why must be powerful. It will give you motivation and direction. And again, that focus, right? We talk about what you focus on will happen, but we need to have laser-like focus. Your mind must arrive at your destination before your life does. And finally, I love this quote here. And your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. Your actions become your habits. Your habits become your character. Therefore, what you focus on becomes your world, and what you resist persists. So again, hope that sinks in there. And as we move forward, and 2018 is just around the corner here, hoping that you are reframing your mindset and that we're focusing on abundance and that law of attraction of what we want and being clear and specific on what we want. So definitely some soul searching to be done here, and hope you enjoyed this webinar. It was recorded and it will be on the website by the end of the week. So I wish you all a wonderful and happy holiday season, and we'll definitely be speaking with you in the new year. So I wish you all the best. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.